What kind of God needs to be carried? What kind of God must be protected from rain, wind, and theft? And what happens when a nation pours its hope, fears, crops, and children into something that cannot even hear? This is the story of Baal, the storm god who promised rain, power, and protection, but could not answer when it mattered the most. Long before the rise of great empires like Babylon, and long before the dominance of Rome, lands of the eastern Mediterranean were dotted with city-states. Among them were the Phoenician cities of Tyre and Sidon. Their ships crossed the seas, their merchants traded in purple dye and cedar wood. Their wealth depended on one thing above all else: rain. Rain meant grain, grain meant bread, bread meant survival. And so they turned their hopes toward a deity they believed controlled the clouds and thunder. His name was Baal. Baal was imagined as a storm god, a rider of clouds, a wielder of lightning. He was believed to defeat chaos each year and bring life back to the earth. When drought struck, people trembled. When thunder rolled, they believed Baal was speaking. Over time, Baal worship spread into Canaan and eventually among some of the children of Israel. Despite repeated warnings from prophets to worship only one God, the children of Israel had been rescued from tyranny, guided through deserts, and given a covenant to worship the one unseen God. Yet, prosperity can dull memory. When neighboring nations seemed powerful and prosperous, the temptation grew. Baal appeared practical. Baal seemed immediate. Baal was local, visible, culturally integrated. Shrines were built on high places. Altars were erected under trees. Rituals were performed to ensure fertility of land and livestock. It did not begin with full abandonment of faith. It began subtly, a compromise here, a cultural blending there, a belief that one could honor the one God and still seek advantage from Baal. But truth does not share space with falsehood comfortably. The more Baal rose, the more true worship declined. Into this climate stepped a prophet named Ilyas, known in biblical tradition as Elijah. He did not come with an army, he did not come with wealth. He came with a question: will you call upon Baal, he asked his people, and abandon the best of creators? His words were simple but dangerous. He was confronting not only belief but power structures. Baal worship had royal support. It was politically convenient. It was socially dominant. To challenge Baal was to challenge the system. And yet, Ilyas persisted. The defining moment came when Ilyas proposed a test. Let the prophets of Baal call upon their God. Let them ask for fire from the heavens to consume an offering. Then he would call upon the one true God. The God who answered would be the true Lord. The prophets of Baal gathered in large numbers. Their altar was prepared. Their ritual began. They called out from morning until noon. They shouted, they chanted, they performed rites, they pleaded. Nothing happened. The sky remained still. No fire, no sign, no response. As the day wore on, desperation increased. The rituals intensified, the cries grew louder. But Baal did not answer. Because wood carved into shape cannot hear. Because stone sculpted into form cannot respond. Because lightning imagined in mythology cannot ignite a flame. When Ilyas called upon God, the answer came swiftly. The offering was consumed. The truth became undeniable. At that moment, the illusion cracked. Baal worship was not irrational in the eyes of its followers. It felt practical. It felt connected to nature. It felt responsive to seasonal cycles. There was something tangible about praying to a storm god during drought. Human beings often prefer what they can see, measure, and emotionally dramatize. An unseen god requires trust. A visible idol requires maintenance. One demands surrender, the other allows manipulation. Baal rituals often included fertility rites tied to agriculture. Over time, some traditions associated with Baal worship descended into moral corruption and even child sacrifice in certain regions. When fear mixes with superstition, boundaries erode. Desperation can justify anything. The story of Baal is not only about an ancient statue, it is about the human tendency to create controllable gods. A controllable god does not challenge behavior. A controllable god can be bribed. A controllable god can be customized. The unseen creator cannot be reshaped. The Baal narrative exposes how societies drift when faith becomes transactional, when rain becomes more important than righteousness, when harvest matters more than humility. The idol becomes a mirror reflecting human desire. History moved forward, empires shifted, the Assyrians rose, the Babylonians conquered. The lands that once echoed with Baal's chants fell under new rulers. Where was Baal when invasions came? Where was Baal when cities burned? Where was Baal when temples crumbled? Stone gods fell with stone walls. The storm god who promised power could not protect his own altars. Time itself testified. The story of Baal is not merely ancient history, it is a warning. Anything that occupies the heart above truth can become a modern Baal. Power can be a Baal. Wealth can be a Baal. Status can be a Baal. Control can be a Baal. When something is treated as the ultimate source of security, identity, and provision, it begins to resemble what ancient people did with carved idols. The difference is only in shape. The core is the same. The question Ilyas asked still echoes. Will you call upon what cannot answer? Or will you turn toward the one who hears even whispered prayers? Baal was carried by men. The Creator carries the universe. Baal required protection from weather. The Creator commands the storm. Baal needed priests to defend his honor. The Creator needs no defense. In the end, Baal did not fall because he was defeated in battle. He fell because he never truly existed beyond imagination. And truth does not compete forever with illusion. Eventually, silence exposes falsehood. The end.